Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another great week of progress! Or at least that's what I would like to say, but this week has really been a struggle. As you can imagine, the crushing weight of last week's fumble was a heavy blow to my momentum, so even though I did technically still manage to sit down and work every day this week, it wasn't with nearly the same level of focus as the weeks before. And the dogs got into something again, and I literally almost crapped myself when I checked the camera because I thought this was all blood, but thankfully it was just like a bunch of protein powder or something, I don't know. These kids cannot be left alone for 5 minutes, and I mean that so literally. This is all therefore to say that I have plenty of excuses queued up for why I didn't get much done this week, but honestly the root of it is that I lacked the direction I had at the beginning. I knew before that I wanted to do something achievable like a walk cycle, so I was able to get that done, but now that I've wrapped up those two projects, for now, I say, side-eyeing the roadkill god, I've caught up with my to-do list and I haven't quite settled on which project to dedicate myself to next. So I've decided that this week we'll mix things up a little bit. I'll show you guys the whips in my repertoire and I'll open a little poll on my channel for you to vote on which project I should funnel my energy into in these coming weeks.
You have been my friend. That in itself is a tremendous thing. After all, what's a life anyway? We're born, we live a little while, and we die.
I spent Monday chipping away at this Warrior Cats animation I've been working on for a while. It had been a couple of months since I last looked at it, and honestly seeing it again, I really want to go back and rework the motion. I learned a lot during my quadruped cycles, and I think that will help me refine the movement of the characters here. This is definitely one of those projects where the vision in my mind looks a lot better than the pieces turning out, and even though I know I just got done preaching about how sometimes a project just needs to be done, I really want to get this one right. Which brings us to why this project is hard for me to commit to. It's that tried and true perfectionist procrastination, where we hesitate to make anything at all because we're scared we don't yet have the skills to make it to our standards, even though the only way to get good is to make it. Anyways, feel free to point out places I can refine this one. I have a pretty good idea for myself, but I'm sure you guys will see things I didn't. Pros to this project are that there's already a lot of work done on it, I have a better understanding of cat movement now, and I get to practice lip syncs. Cons are that I have to rework a bunch of the animation, and it's a much larger project than the others I have in here.
Despite the friendship that blossoms between them.
On Tuesday, I moved on to this clip from a storyboard I've had roughed out for a few months, but have never committed to. Our very first non-quadruped, which is crazy now that I think about it, since I rarely actually animated or even drew animals before this series, though I guess upon reflection, I've been on my Warrior Cat shit for a bit before this, so maybe I'm full of it. Anyways, this clip is one I really like in theory, though I haven't really fleshed out the movement yet beyond taking a few reference videos and sketching out key poses. Pros to this clip are that I already know what the characters look like, it's short and achievable, and when finished, it would make a solid portfolio piece. Cons are that I've barely started and I am yet again afflicted by perfectionist paralysis. Wednesday was spent thumbing out other Warrior Cats animatics. Am I cringe? Maybe, but at least I'm free. I'm doing what 10-year-old me would have wanted, okay? Something, healing my inner child, do it for her, blah blah blah. I have so many animatics I want to make, but the one I specifically want to work on is one I thumbnailed yesterday because I thought it would be really fun to make it in like a colored pencil or mixed media style. Colored pencil is my favorite traditional medium, and actually working with physical paper is something I've really missed. Pros are that I get to draw Warrior Cats, I get to dabble in a different medium than usual, and I think it would look good on my portfolio since it's a step outside my animation comfort zone. Cons are that I might waste a bunch of time making something that ends up looking like shit, and it's less animation and more illustration focused. Much to think about. On Thursday and Friday, I pivoted to a character turnaround I've been neglecting. I think in terms of achievable, smaller scale exercises, this is definitely something on the scale of the quadruped cycles. I want to make a turnaround for her two primary designs, and I think it would be good to follow this up by making a biped walk or run cycle for her. Now that I've revisited quadrupeds, it's probably time I gave myself a refresher on bipeds, lest my complacency catch up to me. My human walk cycles weren't much of an improvement from my quadrupeds, I'll tell you that for free. Pros to this one are that it's an achievable, measurable goal, which I love, and that I want to have a turnaround for my portfolio anyway, so this will probably happen regardless of timing. Cons are that it just doesn't interest me as much as like my colored pencil Warrior Cats animatic right now, but motivation changes by the day for me, so I really need to just pick something and commit. A runner-up that I'm turning over in my head right now, but am not quite ready to commit to the poll is a group animation scene. As you can probably tell by my upload history pre-animating every day, I have a bit of a freedom fighter's hyperfixation. It's been going on for 20 years, I don't think it'll disappear anytime soon. I've been thinking it would be fun to take this old piece I made of the freedom fighters in their Bossing Zay apartment and animate it. Is it too self-indulgent? Probably not much more self-indulgent than 2 half-hour jet dissertations. I have an illness, okay? Pros are that I'll have a group scene, I already have the proportions more or less established by the original drawing, and I can practice adapting to a different art style, and it's the freedom fighters. Cons are that these are copyrighted characters, so that might put me on thin ice in some applications, and that I have zero work done for this idea outside a single still illustration from several years ago. Additionally, I have a few projects I'm floating that I want to work on. I made this 3D rabbit girl in Blender that I want to try my hand at rigging. I also have a lineup of characters I want to try modeling, which would be a nightmare, but definitely really good for me to actually do. I've considered animating a piece of my Luck Runs Out animatic. I want to animate my old pumpkin witch for Halloween. I want to redo this old fight clip. I want to finish out the head turn. The ideas are endless, but that's part of the problem. So I'm assigning everyone homework. Please help me out by dropping by the poll on my channel and casting votes on which project you want to see me work on next. Or if you have other suggestions, feel free to leave those in the comments below. As always, critique is extremely helpful and very, very welcome. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one.